Alright, howdy everyone. This is my Salamangreat Deck Profile. I believe this deck is elite. This is a very unconventional build, but I've played a lot of builds and personally I think this build is the best build. This deck's main competitors is Emancipator and Eldritch. Altergeist is also a very tough matchup. I believe this deck is still tier 1. I believe this deck is better than Eldritch. The deck still struggles against Emancipator, but it can win. It's definitely not outclassed. I play some certain cards in this deck that haven't been played in any competitive Salamangreat decks before, and I don't play certain 3-ofs or even some specific cards that most decks do run because I feel they aren't needed. A bit of background about this deck. I have played it on Dueling Nexus a lot. There's 40,000 active players and I made it to the top 100 with this deck. Since locals have returned, I haven't finished lower than second with this deck. I've been finishing first as well with it, first and second. Yeah, it's an exceptional deck, and I'll break down why I chose the cards that I have. So, first up, we'll start with the... By the way, you're probably curious as to why Exceed is in the side deck as opposed to main deck, but I'll get into that when we get to that. So to start up, our Salamangreat cards. 1 Gazelle, 2 Jack Jag, 2 Foxy, 2 Spinny, 1 Falco, and I'm still playing Foul. I play Foul because he's just a good extender. If we're to cut any card in this deck, it will probably be Foul, but he's still an extender. He's a level 4, which helps us go into our XYZ cards. Beyond these, as the regular seen Salamangreat cards, monsters, I play 1 Mole and 1 Wolvie. The reason why I play Mole is because he's kind of like a Jar of Avarice for the deck, but works in the grave. If you've Link Summoned to, you can also special summon him from your hand to an arrow Link monster points to. That also means that if you've Link Summoned and they've killed your Link monster, but they've got a Link monster with an arrow pointing to your square, you can special summon him to their square, so you can still go off, get into a Balinx, have your combos going. Wolvie, this dude has not seen any competitive play in any Salamangreat deck. He is a highly underrated card. When you special... I'm going to do a combo video too to break everything down, but when you special summon your Jack Jag or whatever it is to the arrow that Sunlight Wolf points to, you can return 1 to your hand. Through Sunlight Wolf, you can't special summon that card to your hand that turn, but if you pull Sunlight Wolf and activate Sunlight Wolf, so Sunlight Wolf's main effect that we use is when he's special summoned to the field from the graveyard or returned to your hand, you can add 1 fire monster to your hand. Using him allows you to bypass Sunlight Wolf's non-summoning effect. So if you pull him to your hand, you've got quite a few options. You can either pull Ash Blossom back to reuse it, you can pull Gazelle back and use him that turn, or you can pull Flame Buffalo back and use him that turn. I'll break down the combos, but pretty much we've got another variant when I get into it. I'll show you what I play with him, but he allows your combos to go and go and go, and if you pull your Gazelle with him and then you discard him to special summon your Foxy, and you've got your Jack Jag out there, activate your Foxy to, we play the Guzzin match build, pop off your Guzzin match, because you discarded Wolvie, you chain Gazelle, activate Gazelle, send whatever you want. That's your access code talker right there. Or if you don't have your Gazelle and you want more draw power, pull him, we still play Flame Buffalo, normal summon Flame Buffalo, link off, whatever you want to do, discard, draw 2. So yeah, you can get Gazelle and you can get Flame Buff, and another card you'll see in this deck on a constant cycle every turn. So we don't play Desires in this deck. I don't feel Desires is needed. From this with Flame Buff, that's a continual draw 2 every time you need, and you don't banish anything. So they're all the Salamangreat monsters. Then some other things I play is 2 red resonator. We've got a small synchro component into this deck. He is not always used as your normal summon. You need to weigh up your options as to when to use him, because he is vulnerable to an Effect Veiler or an Impermanence. But if you've got Will of Salamangreat in your hand, he can be your bait. You can get rid of an Effect Veiler or Infinite Impermanence, then Will, and then you can roll off. But I'll go through that in the combo video. This is the other alternative choice. 1 True King Agnimizod. This guy is so underrated in this deck. It is very, very close to a mono fire main deck with the exception of Lady Debug. Beyond that, everything else is fire. If you're in a Guzzin lock, which is what we aim to set up, if you get him going with your Wolvie, you activate your Jack Jag, shuffle your Sunlight back to the arrow Sunlight points to, return Wolvie to your hand to pull him, destroy 2 fire, banish 1 monster. You can banish from the graveyard too, it doesn't have to be from the field, so against decks like Eldritch, or if you're playing against Adamancipator with your block dragons, like, this card comes in so clutch. If you get it in that spin, every single turn you can be banishing a monster. At the same time, he's 2900 attack, so unless Eldritch has been special summoned from hand using its own effect, if they're in a Guzzin lock and they're locked into either light or they're locked into earth, they don't have anything stronger than 2500 attack, both decks. 29, they can't attack over. So you're getting a banish, you're getting an attack of a monster, and then you can link off, link 3 if you want, go Heat Leo, shuffle 1 back, or you can go link 2 off into another Sunlight because you returned 1. Your following turn for the follow-up, you just do the exact same turn again. Incredible for grinding, and I think some people don't play him because he's not a Salamangreat card or whatever, but fucking that card is so good. So now the main normal summons of the deck. I still run 3 buff and 2 debug. Yeah, awesome cards. Awesome normal summon. Also awesome normal summon. This guy's so good to get in a cycle. Every turn you're drawing 2. Yeah, like, awesome cards. So that's it for the main monsters. Then we're going to hand traps. So I play a smaller number of hand traps because I feel like I like to combo off a lot. I still like to have access to hand traps, but not too much that it gets so cloggy, because I feel like the more hand traps you play, obviously the higher chance of a brick. And this deck is going first. This deck can set up, negates at the right time and all that kind of stuff. So I just play a total of 5 hand traps. I play 2 Ash Blossom. Obviously you can recur him to your hand, but also in this deck with our Synchro element, Ash Blossom is searchable. So I don't feel we need to play more than 2. Play 2 Effect Veiler. Now I know there's a bit of a debate between Effect Veiler and Infinite Impermanence. I personally feel that in terms of bang for buck, what you get for your money, I think Effect Veiler is better. Impermanence is like, what, 40, 50, 60 AUD at the moment for a copy. This is like $1 or $2. Call by the Grave isn't being played that much in the main deck, and I feel Infinite Impermanence is better if you're going second and you draw it, but beyond turn 1, I feel like Effect Veiler is better, because if you're going first and you've got Impermanence, Lightning Storm is huge in the meta, Cosmic Cyclone, like, people often try and pop off the back row if you set up before they get their combos rolling, so this is from your hand. Like, I personally prefer to use this. I feel it's a safer option. If Call by the Grave was huge, then it might be a bit different. People tend to side deck Call by the Grave, but not many people are main decking it. So yeah, I think Effect Veiler is awesome. And then I play the 1 Prohibit Snake. A lot of people are taking him out. I think he's an exceptional card. He's an out to a lot of things. You know, if you're locked into a Balinx, Guzzin, or whatever, or as far as you can get his Balinx, if you got him in your hand, you can clear whatever it is you need to clear. So yeah, I still play. Searchable from debug, searchable from Signet Mining. So awesome card. So that's it for the monsters, and then for the spells and traps. So one sank, one circle, and contrary to popular belief, 2 Signet Mining. My reasons for this is by playing 1 less Signet Mining, the deck does not struggle with consistency. This is a highly consistent deck. If you take out 1 Signet Mining, you're giving space for an extra card, and I used to play 2 Signet Mining and 1 Upstart Goblin, and I kind of pair cards together. I took out the Upstart Goblin. I'm still playing 2 because if we pair these cards together, this is a brick. This is a brick. You don't want to waste your cards, and by playing 2 versus 3, the deck does not change with consistency. This in your opening hand is not a brick. This in your opening hand is exceptional, but this is a brick. Sure, it gets you somewhere. If you get hit with Ash on this, no more Signet Minings. So yeah, I think this is what I play. I consider these the search cards. Plus, if we're playing Gazelle, we're playing Debug. We got Flame Buffalo, Foxy. I play more Salamangreat, so Foxy is still a good search card. I think I got like 19 Salamangreat cards in this deck, so the chances of pulling something off Foxy is pretty high. This deck's got so many search cards, you don't need to max out on this card. I think it's better. If you're playing the Desires build, then yes, I can definitely understand 3, but this isn't the Desires build, and I don't think 3 is necessary. In terms of our special summit, I play 2 Will and 1 Monster Reborn. Pretty much for the same reason I have this. Pulling 2 in your opening hand's a brick, but 1 of each is awesome. Next card is Foolish Burial. I think Monster Reborn is so good in this deck because these 2 cards alone is full combo access code talker. You send your Debug, Monster Reborn, your Debug, add your Gazelle, link 1 Balinx, link 1 Balinx into himself with your Sank, send your Gazelle, or special summon your Gazelle, activate Gazelle, boom, update, transcode, access code. So these 2 cards is awesome. Plus, there's the times where you're trying to pop off and get into your access code, but they solemn judgment you on what tends to be transcode. They can obviously hit access code too, but I think they try and I've seen people trying to hit you on that. It depends on your opponent's timing, but if they hit your transcode, Monster Reborn your transcode, still activate effect, special summon your update, then go off. Or if you make it to your access code, I try to get access code linked to a Sunlight Wolf with a Raw set face down, but as far as you get, Monster Reborn your transcode, then have the transcode pointing to your access code with your Sunlight too. So you got a Raw, you got Can't Be Targeted. That's game on that. Plus, if you're playing like Eldritch or whatever, Monster Reborn the Eldritch, you wanna, if they don't have any Eldritch monsters special summoned, then their deck does not work as well. Their back row doesn't work as well. So yeah, that's it for the spells. Then for the traps, standard 2 Rage, 2 Raw. I main deck 2 Guzzin, even though I try to go into Guzzin as much as I can. I don't like to overcommit to any style of play until I know what I'm playing. I think if I play 2 versus 3, there's a space for another card that provides for versatility. And then 2 Crackdown. This card's awesome because you can thieve an important part to a combo. Now, if you thieve a normal summon or you take an Eldritch or whatever it is, like you can really slow that deck down. Really slow that deck down. And then your following turn, if you can get 2 Cyburst monsters level 2 or higher, you get into your update jammer, then you can just link off theirs into your transcode, boom, full combo. Awesome card. So that's for the traps. So yeah, as you've seen, there's no Desires. I don't feel there's a need for Desires. I don't think the deck struggles with consistency. And then for the extra deck, standard 3 Balinx, 3 Sunlight Wolf, 2 Heat Leo. This is standard. I think there's kind of no valid reason for playing any less than. So I see some people play 2 Baelings. I have experimented with that, but I find your Baelings runs dry a bit too quick, and if you want to keep grinding, it can get a bit challenging if you've just got 2, because when you need to link 1, it can be tough. So you play them, and then 1 Baguska. I still run Baguska, even though I don't main deck Exceed, because I think I've got 7, 8 or 9 level 4s anyway, so level 4's not hard to get into. And then I got the Update Jammer, Transcode, Access Code. Self-explanatory, the best combo in the deck to go into your link monsters. Such a good game ender. I've seen some people online, they go into Access Code turn 1. I don't think it's that good. As in when they're going first. Like, I think it's a waste of a card, because Access Code is awesome for a game finisher, but if you're not finishing the game on him, he's very vulnerable. He doesn't really have any built-in defenses. I also don't play Splash Mage in this deck, because sure, people say Splash Mage is awesome if you get a terrible hand. I like to play to my odds, I guess. This deck really struggles with consistency. Splash Mage, sure, you can pull 1 from your grave, negate its effect, then off into your transcode, then pull your Splash Mage off into your access code. Yes, it's good. It is good, but it depends on where you're at in the game. If you're doing it that way, access code's not getting his double attack. You pump him to 5,300, you get a few destroys, and you hit their life points hard. Sure, sometimes that 5-3 can win the game, but when I pull this guy out, I want to be certain I can win, because if you're banishing pieces from your graveyard and you don't win, he doesn't really have any defenses to fall back on. So that's why I don't play Splash Mage. And then these are the probably unpopular opinions too, but I'll explain why I use them. 2 Pyro Phoenix and 1 Horse Prince. Shit, I got 2 minutes left, but Pyro Phoenix, because this video is going to can itself soon, I'll just quickly get through this and I'll explain more in the next video. But if you're locked into a Guzzin, 2800 attack, you can special summon a link monster from their graveyard, lock them into an attribute that's not theirs, unless Eldritch has been special summoned from his hand. Block Dragon and Eldritch can't attack over him. If they choose to attack to clear their, to kill themselves so they can open up their attributes, you can activate your Sank, pay 1000 life points, gain 2800 attack, 2800 life points, turn his attack to 0, let them kill you, so they're still locked into their attribute, keep going. Here's your search. You get your Gazelle, your Buff, Ash Blossom, Spinny, Foxy. So he's awesome, very, very awesome. And then for the extras, 3 Exceed, I feel he's awesome, but you don't have to have him. Like, you've still got level 4s. I feel sometimes he can even slow things. If you really, really, really want to go next XYZ, usually game 2 I'll side him in, or game 3 depending on versing, but I like the Guzzin build. I think it works very well. And then 2 DD Crow, just awesome for banishing. I play 3 Dark Ruler No More. I feel that's the best big card in the current format. I think it's better than Nibiru, it's better than Evenly Matched. If you want to put Super Poly into that talk, I think it's better than Super Poly. So many people setting up all these synchro boards where they just pretty much say you can't play turn 1. It's you out to that. Very, very good. 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Very good for back row removal. A big killer to this deck is there can only be 1. He's your out to that 2. Even if somebody puts out a Dragon Buster, he's your out to that. A 3rd Guzzin match. We like to play the Mono Fire build. And then, so he usually comes out game 2 or game 3, depending who we're playing. As I said, I don't like to overcommit game 1. Borrowload, Nightmare Phoenix, Abyss Dweller. He's your out to a lot of cards. Just very good. Fire, also out to some situations if you're playing dinos. You can use the token link off so you can still target. And then Abyss Dweller for graveyard negation. But yeah, that's my build. Time